This is just AMZN on Monday, September 9th, 2019. We had a really interesting move today. Starting out with the open that was a little up and down, and we had a really nice consolidation. Let me actually draw. There we go. All right, really nice consolidation, really nice triangle here. I thought it was actually going to go a little bit wider and go a little longer, later into the day, but it broke out with a really nice, it broke out above a really nice inverted hammer after making a little bit of a hammer here, but had a really nice breakout, small retest, continuing, and then came right into 1850, right on the dot. And from there just rolled over the rest of the day. Had a little bit of a double bottom down here towards the end of the day, and some folks I'm sure were buying here and looking for it to continue on up, and it didn't, just went sideways. So we had a really nice pullback initially. Let me switch back over to this drawing tool because I can draw straight lines with this one. We had drawn in kind of this line yesterday, like this. And if I extend this to the right, yeah, wow. Okay. Had I left this on, look at that, hit that the same day, and then this morning hit here and bounced incredibly off that, came down into that, put in this huge hammer, and then started to bounce, roll back down right into it, started to bounce, and then collapsed. And look where we came right back up to. So I'm going to leave this line on here now. If you want to draw this into your own charts, just grab this endpoint here and the endpoint here and just extend to the right, because I mean this was basically an upper edge to a triangle. I mean, if you take a step back, it was just a really nice consolidation from yesterday, but it really showed where we could bounce from or collapse into today, and it did both. It bounced really nicely here. You didn't really have to wait for this consolidation. Could have been buying right here. Man, that would have been a great place to be buying. And once it got up here, started to show signs of rolling over, you could have shorted it down into here, or even taken the breakdown right here till it actually put in a new low below yesterday's low. And so this was a bearish engulfing candle. It was actually right at the open was a bullish gap and go, and so that's where it had some of its indecision here and choppiness right out the gate. That it's really a bullish gap and go where it opened up here, pulled back, bouncing some, consolidated, got really tight, and then exploded with a really nice squeeze here. Just didn't last very long. Really the move happened before the squeeze fired, and once the squeeze fired, it was over sooner than really it should have been. But it came into a really nice round number, 1850. Started to close this gap a little bit. The close on this day was 1855.32. I still think we have a chance to get up there. I think there's an opportunity to get back up there before a bigger roll down, maybe. I guess if that holds, if we really think of that $5 gap holding there, then potentially we could be right in this area where we've broken out, broke out of resistance, broke out of consolidation, and we're getting ready for a bigger pullback. And this could be the start of that bigger pullback, because just like this, this was the third day of this squeeze, and here we are the second day of the squeeze. So I mean, you could also just kind of blend these two candles and think of it as this candle here is the second day. But I would not be surprised if we rolled back down from here, even coming back down to 1747, taking out the low, getting bears in even more, and this just being a great location for the bulls to buy, just like this one was. A hammer like that off of some incredible support in here. I mean, if we have that opportunity again, I mean, you can almost do that with your, I was gonna say with your hands tied behind your back or blindfold or something, because that would be a really nice place to bounce. Um, let's see now. So if we pull back here, it's going to trap a lot of bulls. Bulls that we're getting in here. It's going to, you know, make bears think that they were right to hang on to this, looking for lower prices, and would just be a bit of a fake out, you know, for getting above the 21. You know, similar to this. I mean, we're steadily into the 21 and then got above it, then below it. You know, this was where it's like we shouldn't be down here. This here, it's okay to be up here. I don't think we're ready to be up at 1900 yet. If we get up to 1900, let's say somehow we keep moving bullish, it's gonna give that feeling, or maybe 1925, 1900 maybe, just because there's, you know, some nice bearish candles that if we do get above, but if we get above there this week or next week, it's going to bring into question, like, should we really be up here already? And if we stay up here, then it's going to show that this market is even stronger than people think, and possibly get into something like this for the rest of September, consolidating like this, have a little bit of pullback, and then probably push to new highs if it's meant to be up here. If not, then probably pulls back really sharply, similar to this, and takes out this low. But anyway, back into the 5 minute, you could have been buying this, you know, at these lows. So looking at the 1850 calls, that would have meant buying at like 11 and probably would have been stopped out at 10, or waiting to buy at 10. Hey, look, 10 by 9, and riding that up to at least the high at 13 here, hopefully holding on for a little bit more up to like 15. But that would have been a 5-hour move had you gotten in on that pullback. Now, if you waited for the consolidation and subsequent breakout, you probably did not get filled at 11, although 11 by 10 looks like a great setup. It was this candle that was doing the breakout, and it only retested a little bit down to 1130. So really your setup would have needed to be like 1150 by 1050, and I don't know if you would have set it at 1050, probably 10, which would have meant a little more than $100 R, or you're going a little further out of the money. In which case, if you're getting into this one at 11 and looking for 2R, that's 13. I'm sorry, getting in 1150, that's getting up to 1350. That's doable. Even with the next option, like 1855, maybe it would have been down a little bit more, like getting at 11 or 1050 and going up and getting 1250, maybe something like that. And then as this made this high up here, hitting 1850, you can see just the collapse came right back down into this price. And if someone was waiting to buy or still had an order open at 10, that, you know, maybe they set it up here thinking it's going to get down. If you set it at 10 by 9, you got stopped out here. If you waited and did 10 by 9 here, you didn't hit 2R. And then if you tried 10 by 9 here, it didn't work at all. You got stopped out again. So 10 by 9 would have worked in the first, you know, the first consolidation here, the first hour of the day, but none of the rest of the day. And then even this kind of double bottom down here didn't really do much with the 1850 calls. So that's just interesting to see how we didn't really have any sort of, you know, retest of a neckline here. You can see the double bottom, but this doesn't look like the neckline retest here that we like really got right here. So then looking at the bearish move, this is the 1825 calls. I looked at first at the 1850 calls, and they were much more expensive. This being 1825, you're out of the money. You came into a nice steady price here around 750. Could have been getting this set up, you know, right in here, getting in 750 by 650. That would have been getting in bearish up in here. And just going off of, this is a really nice round number. We're kind of up a little bit higher than we expected to be. It was a bullish gap and go. But, I mean, it's a good place for it to roll over. And so it did. And by just it being a good place, I mean, again, we're pushing higher, but it's the question of, should we be up here? And, you know, slamming into 1850 and just rolling down, it's like, maybe Amazon's not quite ready to be up there again. So if you played that, you know, you're getting in 750, maybe even 8 by 7. That's an easy number to calculate. So 8 by 7, you held that till probably 11 or 12. And that was, you know, if you went from 8 up to 12, that was a nice 4R kind of move here. So you got a little bit of a bounce but another rollover from here. And what's really interesting about this price and even this price here is this was trying to bounce off of that apex. This was, excuse me, this was rolling over from that apex after showing it was going to roll over. So getting in bearish here with a stop like kind of up here above this line at 1841.30, would have been a great opportunity. And so that's what this value would have been, getting in probably 1050, maybe 11 by 10. And so if you do 11 by 10, at least going out 2R, you're getting out at 13, maybe a little bit later. Making a low on today and making a new low from yesterday. So you're probably in 11 by 10, getting out at 15. So those are a couple of opportunities at key locations that set up on the day here. The one thing that I wasn't crazy about is we didn't really interact with the 1841.30 price other than this being resistance right here, and then it was pretty clear as it broke out that it was going to hold that, and then when it didn't hold it here, it brought that level into question today. Even though it started to bounce, this was trapping the bulls. Any bulls buying, like even yesterday was a resistance, and today was acting as, oops, hang on, it just got hung out. There you go. Even today was acting as a resistance here, broke out, looked like it was going to bounce, started to bounce, and this traps so many bulls. Not quite as many. Oh, the cursor's not working again. Just want to look at the volume here. A little bit lower volume on that bounce, kind of signaling, yeah, that one's going to be a trap. And it was a trap. Okay, I think the recording's still going, but okay, now it's working again. There we go. So nice trap here. This is a good place to roll over. This was another good place to roll over, or possibly roll over at a breakdown of these lows, making a new low on the day. Even getting in bearish, kind of in here, like on this candle. This was at 205 going bearish. That would have been 205 going bearish. That would have been right here. So getting in like 12 by 11. That still made it to 2R, going up to 14. So opportunities all over the place to go bullish, to go bearish. Just kind of taking a step back from taking a step back in the day, just looking at the different opportunities that came up, and a lot of different ways you could have played it. So hopefully it was a good day for you to get on the right side of the trades and trade the right options. And I hope this helps to kind of connect what options are working, which ones are not. I wanted to look at, okay, so the 1855, if you were looking at that one, and it's going to be lower volume than 1850. But that came in to so like it was breaking out. Here's 9, here's 10. So like 10 by 9, that still would have been tough to do there. And just not a lot of volume to know what the spread would be. This is looking at 1860. I kind of like this. 7, you could have been doing like 7 by 6 or 750 by 650. That would have been nice. And then taking that up to 2R would have been 950. That could have worked. Now, if you're further out, you're not going to get the 2R target. And it's just kind of the reality of it. So this would have been breaking out here. You're getting in like 375 by 275, and it doesn't make it up to 575. I don't think we need to go further than that, but just to see kind of where the price is at, what's going on the day. As soon as you get down to these decimal places on the options, you're seeing less of of that potential move. It's just got to move further in the day. So hope that makes sense. Again, just how the options are tracking with what's going on. This was strongly bullish, and to see that move really well with like the 1850 that we got to at the money, but not as well with 1875 or 1860. It just makes sense with how the move is working with the Greeks, and without even getting into the Greeks, you can just say, okay, it's just not moving as well. You want to get into something that this is a really nice range. If you can hold this to a dollar range and get into the right option, then this is an easy 2R up here. Not to say 2R is always easy. It's just the setup and where you could get in and have a stop. You can risk your R and make 2R with that kind of setup. And so it's just identifying what that is. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. If we get a bigger pullback or if we continue up from here. but we've got the squeeze to help, and I think we still have, yep, bullish momentum to help as well. So we'll look for some more bullishness to come in, but I'm okay with a couple days of sideways here. Even a couple more would help actually the bullish argument that, you know, the bears just can't push it down like they have been doing. See if we can get some bulls to come in and watch this thing higher. So yeah, that's what I got. This is Justin Amazon. Thanks.